This is after 2 shows, including national, and we're like 2 months. 2 months, right? Almost 3. Wait, no, 2 months. 2 months after the show. It's been interesting. Again, I think it's good to reiterate that I'm doing all of this to gain knowledge and like a bunch of the database, and my goal is just to like give back like all the truth about like how this affected me and what I would change, and just love learning about things and doing things better and being able to have this experience to relate with my clients and make sure I know like what is too much, what is not enough, like how to like maneuver the body in different way and in different response. And I think this is especially important for women because women's hormones are so much more tricky than men's. Good for them. Another thing going on for them. You know, they can also pee standing up and we can't. So, another thing like that. But I do feel like after my first show, I didn't like cut as hard with my like body weight than the second one. And I felt really good after the first show. I think for my second show, that last 2 weeks before the show itself, I do feel like I pushed my body a little too far, and I can tell that like the month after it really backfired, but not that much, but it did backfire, and I like started to find myself in a place that I didn't like, where my relationship with food was going. Like I was so scared to not have food, which I think was mostly just my body like having deprived for like that, specifically that last 2 weeks of like dense food. That's like kind of all I wanted to eat, and I had to like relearn how to like bring back my metabolism, and also like how to like make my body like back feel like comfortable, and like set up that new baseline of where it was going to be healthy for me to be. I also found that one of the things that was hard about the show after is like your body start to change like back up, because how you look at a show is just not healthy. So everyone at home that wants to look like that like all year long around, it's really not sustainable. Like the first thing is we're dehydrated, so you don't want to be dehydrated for the rest of your life just so you look this peeled. I think like the way to go to try to look as close as possible to that as you want or can for the rest of your life is being okay with bringing a cycle of food. And this is where it gets really hard, because it's the type of thing where you need to take 2 steps back to be able to move forward. So what I've been working on for the past 2 months-ish is I've been reverse dieting. So I've been increasing my food consumption and lowering my activity level. And I'm gonna wait for a second because the sun went down. And as I'm lowering my activity level and increasing my food intake, I'm trying to see like kind of like how slow my body weight can come back up. So now I kind of reset my whole body with a new healthy baseline of amount of food that is as high as it can go. So when I want to like bring back down my body, I'm not going like back to a weight that was higher than before, and also I don't have to cut the calorie as much. I'm going to give an example because that was, I think, a lot of information. As an example, I'm at about 125 pounds right now. I went down to about 115 before the show, and without the water, I dropped to almost 110. So after the show, right away regained the water, so 115, which I don't count in any way as like a weight gain because it's just water. But I did put on like back 10 pounds. On that 10 pound what I did is I increased my caloric intake. A lot of it was protein because I wanted to use the fact that my body was deprived of food and fuel it with good food to build muscle. Main focus has been growing my butt, my shoulder, and my back. So a lot of the weight that I gained back on, because my body was so primed to wanting to gain weight back, my goal was to really focus on gaining like good weight back. So as you gain muscle mass, you will also gain some fat. It's like just part of the game. The same way that when you lose weight, you're also going to lose some muscle mass as you lose fat. The goal is to keep a high protein intake so you can minimize the muscle mass loss. So I went from 115 and I was eating, again before my last show, around 1200 to 1400 calories a day, which is really low. I was training 3 hours a day and I was like able to stay at that 115 pound weight then, which is not enough food and an incredible insane amount of training. What I'm doing right now is I'm trying to build musculature so I have more muscle and I will need more food to fuel that, and I'm increasing my weight. So now I'm at about 125. I've been pretty consistent staying here, but I'm eating 2200 calories and I'm training for 30 minutes a day. What that does for my body is that when I'm going to want to cut back, I have somewhere to go. And this is the biggest mistake with a lot of people and a lot of my clients I work with. I'm like, just trust me, we're gonna go backward a little so we can go way further and do something that is sustainable. So right now I'm about 2200 calories, 125, which is, when you keep it in perspective, lighter and more food than when I started the whole prep the first time. So when I started the prep the first time, I started at about 2000 calories and I was at 135. So if you guys like think about it, like I've been able to reverse dieting back slowly and with the right macronutrients. I'm eating more now at a lighter weight. And that's kind of like this like one cycle that I've done. And I'm gonna do this cycle over and over and over again as my body drop and my musculature increase to help my body go down to kind of what I wanna look like and feel like, but be able to have a lot of a high caloric intake while like being healthy and looking more towards like how I wanna look. Hey guys, if you've enjoyed this video, make sure to subscribe and follow and check out my nutrition and training program at ferocefitness.com. This is where you're going to get everything you need for your body, health, wellness journey transformation to be the best version of you.